actually go again. That's that part of that training that I was saying, which is you have to understand, do I care about the base rates, or is this likely to run away from the base rates? So it's that, is the accident going to get cleared before rush hour or not? Right.
Right.
So one of the things, this is why you want to make explicit what's
Right.
implicit, because if you're going to say for this valuation to be true, like, and you can do a simple pre-parade or backcast, right? Like, let's imagine it's 5 years from now and Amazon looked cheap. Why was it cheap? And then when you have people do that independently, you start to see things like that, right? So as an example, we all know that there was a big shift when we went to physical businesses that only have a certain amount to grow before competition crowds them out, versus something like Google, which seems to be, this is where we get into power law. And so the question is, was that foreseeable? Well, it was certainly foreseeable by some people, because they invested in Google. They at valuations that at the time would have seemed kind of crazy, but they could see the future, because you have to say, for this valuation to be right, what would have to be true? Well, this would have to be a space where you can just capture enough of the customers and create enough friction for someone to switch, that once they captured that value, they wouldn't release it, right? And that's not true of physical businesses in the same way. But so you can actually end up seeing that. And that's the kind of art of forecasting, is understanding what are the questions that I'm supposed to be asking? How am I thinking about what would be implicit in that outcome occurring? Make it explicit, explore those explicit things. And then a lot of times you're still not going to see it, but you're going to be more likely to see it. So it's not that everything reverts to the base rates. That's not true. Sometimes there are changes, like traffic in the road that isn't going to get cleared, right? Or an accident in the road, where you just have to be able to see that. And you can imagine how that is. Like, so let me imagine it's rush hour and everything's backed up. Why did that happen? Well, a truck must have, a semi must have turned over in the road and they couldn't get it out. Right. So you can start to kind of understand what are the assumptions that would have to go into that. And you can do that with Amazon as well, right? Like, for this to be right, what would have to happen? Well, could they do it off of just the packages? Well, no. So what else would have to happen?
Right.
And then you can start to forecast the probability of those things happening. How realistic are those things? And then maybe you decide the market's wrong and you short Amazon. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just trying to be more accurate. You're not going to get perfectly accurate.